Hello, people, and welcome to follow another friendly match of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships 2025 edition. We have in a large 8 versus 8 match today to be streamed, so we won't be able to cover every player, but now is your chance to affect that decision. So if you want to see a specific duel or a match, then do let me know in the chat. I see Nico has already made a bit of a clearance there, so the original lineup included Obi Wonder instead of Nice Dicer, but fortunately we were able to fix that early enough. And yeah, so you can see the lineup just above me there. We have on table 1, we have Fabiana Mouton versus Polo Verde. On table 2, Nicolas Victor with the screen name Yina Yina versus Lambe. We have Carl Verheiden with the screen name 71 Knives versus Barry 10. On table 4, we have Ludo Jar versus Angostur. Table 5, a nice dicer. I have to remind myself of the names. So nice dicer Tom de Schmidt, as well as a matter of fact, I don't have Ludo in my notes, but Tom de Schmidt on table 5 against Pepinho. Then we have the reigning Belgium Live champion Nico Wellemans in NW versus Piccione 85 on table 6. And then we have a new name for myself. We have Rally 8 on table 7 going up against 1984 Anto. And then finally on table 8 we have Maude Quaniers with the screen name Moby Dick, and he'll be going up against the AIBJ 7. Ludovic Janet is the name of Ludo. Thank you for confirming that, Nico. Welcome, PlateMag. So, indeed, if you do want to see a specific duel, then do let me know in the chat. And otherwise, we will be going with a choice of my own, and that would potentially actually be Rally 8 and versus Anto, simply because I actually do want to see what kind of shenanigans can this new arrival cause. Looks to be just about shy of 500 rated for both players, both for Rally and for Anto. So we expect to be we expect this to be a rather educating game. Also, let us do some setup working for the early tiles. That should be better. So we have a small lead for Rally here with 6 points on the board with this city. And then we have a rather nice, juicy looking tile going for rally just as he needs it, finds the starting tile immediately. Now, this situation with his city and his monastery potentially is still rather vulnerable, so he is gonna want to find a tile there ASAP, but Anto has a bit of a different idea of that, and so makes the natural move, makes the blocking move, and restricts both the city and the monastery to the three remaining daggers. Now, it isn't that dangerous in itself, but it is probably a bit annoying for Rally to deal with because he'll likely have to wait for a rather longish while for that dagger to come to his hand, but when it does, he'll be not only able to finish the city, but also claim this rather nice 4-point road in the process. And in the meanwhile, he also has some nice features elsewhere with a 5-point monastery and with this other city of his, which with what he did do some, I would say, inaccuracies to be, to say at least. You don't really want to be building these cities with city caps, especially when there is no immediate threat of a incoming block, which there wasn't. But seems to be that those same mistakes are actually made on both sides. Now, Anto adding a city cap to the city, which is under attack already by his opponent. Now, even though there is a slight benefit that he took one of the 3 remaining daggers, of course, so only 2 remain. But what is really unfortunate for him indeed is that um, Anto uses a city cap to a likely to a shared feature, so it's not really a efficient use. Now he was counting on getting one of the 2 dividers, but as it happens, Rally is the player who draws first the first he draws the first divider, and then he now draws even the second divider. So now we do see why it was quite inefficient for Anton to use a stick app to a most likely to a shared feature. Though it is looking rather nice for Anto at the moment, as his opponent is without any meeples, so Anto is completely free to score everything he can, whereas Rally is focused on trying to get his meeples back. And unfortunately, he does not get a tile to do that, and to further increase Rally's suffering here, it is unfortunate for him that Anto has not only drawn the first of the 3 daggers, but also the second one. So only 1 tile remains in the deck to fit into this square, which is now getting blocked by Anto, and Rally in his unfortunate position has to actually forego the kind of a semi-save on this square to get at least 1 meeple back. And I mean, you have to say that Anto's position is just looking really great at the moment. Rally immediately using his final meeple again. Potentially a bit hastily. I think he could have also made this move without a meeple. just simply not trying, not being as eager to, score with like every city cap. I mean, he can simply wait for another city cap to come afterwards, or so that he doesn't lose any points from crossroads or other road ends. But he does get a city cap immediately, and he does get the 4 points. Unfortunately, his obstruction process does not really pay any dividends, as Rally also gets the third dagger. So I mean, maybe that partially makes it easier for Rally to to deal with the losing of these 2 meeples to the block. Also, we have to note that in the process of going for this city, Rally actually made it impossible to recover this meeple either. So he only really has this one city meeple to recover, and being down a meeple and behind on the scoreboard 7 points, it's not really looking great for him. There's also this 9-point field that is just waiting to be claimed, and most likely the player who claims that is going to be Anto, because he has 2 meeples and he already actually has this 6-point field that has the expansion potential to this 9-point field via the 2 remaining regular monasteries. This is way too extra from Anto, I have to say. He doesn't need to go for this extra meeple yet. I mean, he can simply wait until Rally gets a meeple back, because Rally should not be investing his final meeple to a 9-point field when he has like almost next to 0 tiles in his disposal of getting any meeples back. I mean, as a matter of fact, he only has 1 single tile to get a meeple back, and it is the final triple city with a field. And being down 3 points, let's actually have a look at the real point situation. So +3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 1 equal +1, +8, +5, -1, -10. -10 for Rally, so he, well, now -11. So he starts going for these bit of a risky roads, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta risk it heavy at this stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is still 1 crossroad remaining. And how many curvy tiles actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Still 4 curvy tiles. Well, now 3, because Anto just got a Road Dorito. And there is still 1 Road Dorito as well in the deck. But a Road Dorito will not be good enough for us anymore, as Anto obstructs the road and limits us to the final remaining crossroad, which is a field crossroad. Now we can make the save, but I mean, we gotta go for the save. I mean, because we have to get this meeple back to score any points, but he doesn't go for the meeple back. Instead, Rally focuses on simply taking away scoring opportunities, but it doesn't really make sense, because it's Rally in the first place who needs all kinds of scoring opportunities for himself. Like, he has to hope for the best possible scenario of now getting this meeple back and being able to use like all scoring opportunities that are remaining on this board. So now that he has taken all of those scoring opportunities away, it might bite him back. But we do get away with the 7-point road, and I think we are actually behind only by like maybe like 4 to 6 points. But realistically, all that Anto needs to do is like go here, place a farmer, and he wins the game on the spot. Because Anto also had this tile available to score points. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, this is a 2-point move, sure, makes sense. But given the remaining tiles, we might as well have gone over here, maybe. Actually, no, this is a precise move. Yeah, it is a precise move. It is, I think, the best we actually could have done at that stage. Because there were 2 curvy tiles still remaining in the deck, so we can basically make sure that we get 5 points either from here or by going here for a road. Like Anto can't actually prevent this final scenario of Rally getting net plus 4 points. But it doesn't really matter. Anto doesn't need to take away points from Rally, as Anto will be winning with the fields. Actually, surprisingly close of a game with only a 9-point difference, even though Rally was stuck without meeples almost like half the game. It's a bit surprising, I have to say, of how well Rally managed to hold on, but not quite well enough. So that's the first game point for Italy. It was a very, very fast-paced game. I do have to give them that. With quite a lot of like inaccuracies, I would say. But that's mostly what you expect from just about expert level players. They make like sensible moves, which are like pretty natural to find and make, but then there is a lot of improvement to be found and made with this like micro actions, and just overall the uh, efficiency with every tile, even despite how worthless they might seem, or even though they weren't the best tiles. I mean, there's always some kind of value to be found, a bit more than we saw in this game in general. Okay, let's then move on to another fast-paced player, to Nicolas Victor. And let's also see whether he has already finished first of his games. if PGA allows us to see the match history. There has been a bit of issues with PGA today. So okay, looks like they are still playing the first game. Now, as Nico has mentioned earlier in the chat before this friendly match started, the pairings were made according to simply ELO rating, so we should be having pretty similar level playfield all over the board, which does indeed seem to be the case so far. As we can see, Nicholas at strong 600 and Lampe at a very strong expert level here. 2 tiles remaining. Lampe with the starting player advantage and also -12 on the scoreboard. Now Nicholas has invested his final meeple on to this 2-point city on his field, so you might assume that there are actually even more than one city cap remaining in the deck, or then simply Nicholas has to risk a bit hard, usually one or the other. So +12, then these are equal, +11, +14, 16, 17, 25, 24, 21, 20, 15, 11, 13, 16, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So if my math is correct, then Nicholas is +4 at the moment, despite not getting the starting tile to connect to this field. But actually there seems to be also another starting tile. No, there isn't. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so no starting tiles, so this connection will not be possible. So Lambert down -4 points. So the question is, does he have to go for a move like this? Are there stick caps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There is one city cap still lingering in the deck of some kind. 1, 2, 3. It is a city cap with a field on the right side, so this would be a total block. And it does indeed is the case that Lampe goes for the attack, though this meeple is not really good because there's nothing that Nicholas can do to actually prevent this city. So there's no need for Lampe to meeple this city. He could have actually waited whether he gets this straight road or this city cap, because both are going to be worth 4 points. And if my math is correct, then Nicholas is winning this game with a bio draw because he wasn't the starting player. But yeah, this final meeple from Lampe definitely a mistake, I have to say. A rather big one. Because with the straight road, there was nothing that Nicholas could have done to prevent the city, and Lampe had to. Well, I mean, to be honest, Lampe had to count on getting this city cap anyways, because otherwise Nicholas just goes over here and adds 3 points to his field. Yeah, it is a tie. It is a draw, and Lambe, unfortunately, as the starting player, is the player who's going to be taking the L on this one. Okay, let's see. There's some discussion here. Both caps in the end, and I'm sleeping. It seems. I thought you had the last piece to set. Not sure. Ah, yeah. So Lambe thought that his opponent was the one who was gonna place the final tile, I think. But let's actually see. So yeah. It's definitely actually a mistake already with the starting tile, isn't it? Because what Lampe should have done is he should have actually just had faith on this exact sequence. He should have, because it was the only winning sequence for Lampe, I believe. He had to rely on, well, first of all, getting this starting tile, and as he got it, he should have realized that the remaining tiles were this vanilla and this straight road, and only the city or just 4 points from anywhere are not going to be enough. So what Lampe had to do is he had to prepare a city on his field. So he had to go over here and direct the city cap downwards, or over here and direct the city cap on the right, and then Nicholas will not be able to prevent that city from getting completed with a straight road, either from here or from here, and then Lampe simply makes a 7-point move for himself, as this city would have been on his field. So plus 3 points was the cost of this mistake for Lampe. And unfortunately, that is or was enough to decide the game in his opponent's favor. So a bit of an unfortunate miss from the Italian, but you live and you learn. He better hope that he doesn't make these kind of mistakes in the actual tournament, because he will not be happy with himself if that comes to being the reality. Let's see. Well, actually, we might as well witness another game from these players, as we were able to see only the few last tiles. And yes, we will update also the scoreboard, like so. So point to Belgium, a game point. And now we have a starting situation that looks quite even. There is some big vulnerabilities for the city of Lambe, but he will be able to rectify the situation by just simply going over here and like cutting down his losses. I don't think that's the way to go. Yeah, I really hate that move, actually, from Lambe. Like, sure, he does keep his chances alive of actually finishing this city, but there are only 2 starting tiles remaining, right? And okay, well, this is interesting. Okay, so the idea of Lambe here is to get this exact sequence: a triple city with a field, a triple city with a road, and then a starting tile. But the issue is that Nicholas has so many tiles, such as this one, for example, to go here with and just simply screw up this plan, as it now happens. And now Lambe is stuck with not only this 4-point meeple, but also with the second meeple along with the meeple of Nicholas. So instead of actually being in a losing mini battle of simply 2 points for a meeple, if Lambe had gone over here with this road Dorito, then 6 points for Nicholas and 4 points for Lambe. Then overall -2 for Lambe, but he would have only lost 1 meeple. Whereas now, sure, he's winning technically by 4 points, but he has 1 meeple extra, like, deleted from the game, which is far worse, like far worse, especially at the beginning of the game, than simply being down 2 points in a mini battle that no one can win anymore. This is simply just a worse result. I mean, Lambe had the audacity to try and go for a big move here with multiple triple cities, but I mean, the odds of that plan working out, I'd say, were like too small to really try and go for it. And Lambe actually not scared at all of going over here and possibly making, or possibly finding himself in a situation where he sacrifices his meeple with maybe a triple city, places it over here, and blocks the 2 monasteries of Nicholas, but also his own city, and kind of gets back the meeple equality, as then both players would have 3 meeples trapped, 1, 2, 3 from green, and 1, 2, 3 from yellow. Now instead, Nicholas says no thank you, and he's gonna go over here, and he's gonna take back his monasteries, I would assume. I don't actually think this save is gonna be worth it, even though it could be, sure, it could be saved. It could be saved. And he does decide to do that, but it's potentially gonna come with a cost. Like, imagine that Lambe just would have gotten this tile, gone over here, and then have an expandable ruin of his, as opposed to simply just blocking 2 monasteries of Nicholas. But it does seem like the plan of Nicholas is working. There are only 2 tiles now for Lambe that he can use to block this square. The only 2 remaining the only 2 remaining triple cities with a road. And whilst there are multiple regular curves for Nicholas to save his monasteries and save this square to a road Dorito, which there are still 2 remaining. But it is noteworthy to realize that since so many starting tiles are gone, there's only 1 remaining. It is not bad at all for Nicholas to actually go here with a road Dorito himself, if he finds one, and like more or less guarantee the future liberation of these 2 monasteries, whilst he would be leaving this city meeple to simply being a ruin that Lambe can not really even grow, because there are not all that many road plus city tiles anymore in the deck. So, as a consequence of all of what I just said, it looks pretty all right for Nicholas here. Also has this 8-point city here in the making. Now the question is, will Nicholas go over here and limit this square from 4 triple cities to only 1, which he does, and he does deem correctly, as Lambay just happened to have a triple city in hand, and now this connection is denied with a triple city with a row, with a triple city with a field. And as a matter of fact, this also serves another purpose. So because now Lambay needs a triple city with a road elsewhere, Lambay will never go in this square with a triple city. He will always finish this city and take back 2 meeples whilst giving back 1 meeple to his opponent. So this is actually a very, very wise board vision from Nicholas, and he even happens to get the final triple city with the road, making the life of Lambay really, really unfortunate looking. I mean, so Lambay has 1 meeple trapped, 2 meeples trapped, 3 meeples, 4 meeples, 5 meeples trapped entirely, potentially even 6. I mean, let's not actually count this yet because this can still be retrieved. And this, I mean, the only meeple that Lambay can get back, like in most scenarios, is this road meeple with a road end. Now, I have no. Oh, actually, I don't know about that decision of Nicholas. I think he could have actually even went over here and just simply blocked this monastery of Lambay as well, because he would be winning this mini battle against this monastery, and given his situation on the board, it is looking like really, really good. Let's actually see. So +4 for Lambay, +11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 5, 7, 6, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think like Lambay is like +1, but because he has 2 meeples less, there are like unbelievably few scenarios in which Lambay actually wins this game. I mean, he's gonna need a lot of quick point tiles here. And I mean like a lot of them, because he first of all, well, he has to dodge the final city crossroad, which there are still 1 remaining. And, you know, even if he does that, then he's still down 1 meeple. And 1 meeple is easily, you know, a decisive factor, especially now that I think Nicholas is like winning by 1 point at the moment, and like he can do pretty much anything with this city cap. Starts simply another city, deems that there are enough city caps in the deck for it to be worthy investment. Lambay wisely just leaving empty city caps available for himself to take. Though maybe a better spot could have been here, given that Lambay is gonna want to get that city crossroad. So yeah, actually, like either here or like 1 square more upwards, so that we have a better use for a city crossroad than taking 2 points over here. So a bit of a miss from Lambay, but judging by the messages that he's sending into the chat, he seems to be a bit not as in shape tonight. Goes for a city, which I think is totally doable. There might not even be any blocking tiles that Nicholas can use. There are no triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there are no Doritos either. So there is actually nothing that Nicholas can use to direct the city of Lambay towards the left and block it. Perhaps the only blocking tile that Nicholas has is the city crossroad to go over here, and maybe that will block this thing entirely. We should probably drop a farmer here as well, just to be precise and not to end up with a meeple surplus. And we take a 6-point field. That's all nice and well. Unfortunately, Nicholas was not able to get the city crossroad, but it doesn't really matter because even though this 12-point move actually would have been really great to get, I mean, the lead of Nicholas here was just was already so big that he didn't need any like massive scorings, massive scoring tiles towards the end here. He just needed like 1 or 2 city caps to like guarantee his win in pretty much most of the tile runouts. Lambay did finish his 8-point city and choosing now where to use his final meeple. There's probably nothing better than this 4-point road. At least not that I would see anything. Yeah, there's 3-point fields. Yeah, the 4-point road seems to be the most accurate. And just a discard coming from Nicholas, or yeah, it's gonna be a discarded tile from Nicholas. He can't go here to add 1 point to his city because it adds a point to the road and to the monastery of Lambay, so that would be actually a net -1 point for Nicholas, which is obviously not something that you ever really want to do. Tired, says Nicholas. It might be true, it might not, who knows. But it is close to 11 p.m. Well, for some Europeans, for Belgian players, I think Belgium goes with by UTC time. So, actually only 6-point win for Nicholas, which is less than I actually thought it would have been, but you know, Lambay did a good job here with his final meeple, trying to squeeze in as many points as possible, and he did, making this seemingly a tight match, but you know, by looking at everything here, I would definitely say that Nicholas was more on the driver's seat at almost at any given moment, given the decisions rather I want to say bold decisions of Lambay to go for this uh, city in the first place instead of just accepting a 2-point loss. And then also even with this city over here, even though it did have like a lot of situations also which that could have ended up being really beneficial, because Lampay could have gotten really any city tile here and either block the square and finish the city, or simply start a ruin and block the square. And without these two extra meeples of Nicholas, it could have actually been a completely different game here. But 2-0 it is, and Belgium goes to the lead. And let's actually take a look at the other tables and update the scores a bit more. So first of all, on table 1, Fabian Mouton. In a decider actually as of right now. Well, maybe we'll just update the scores as we get further in the matches, and we actually arrive very nicely to the decider. So it is 1-1 at the moment on table 1. City tiles for Polo to start with. Maybe we continue our city over here or to the right. That is also fine. It prevents, of course, this attacking spot to the city, and in case Fabian wants to attack the city, then he's gonna have to do it next to his monastery, and then two of his meeples are gonna be dependent on this square right here, which Polo has no incentive to place anything to. Also, maybe knowingly, maybe not, Polo actually put Fabian into making a decision, or maybe not even a decision, but forcing Fabian to actually add this juicy triple city tile with a shield to Polo's city, as no other squares, no other legal options were available but to add points to Green's city over here. So in case this was thought as long as that, if that decision was made with the intention of forcing your opponent of placing placing city plus road tiles to your city, then I have to applaud the board vision. That's not something that nearly all competitive players do. Also, it's something that I usually don't think of all that much. Fabian with the fourth monastery of the game. Maples it, no questions asked, and is going to be leeching off of this square here. Though this is a potentially a double-edged monastery fight here, because Polo does not have any intention to place anything here or here, because he's sharing these monastery squares with two monasteries of Fabian, and Fabian didn't have any intention to place anything over here, because it would just be it would simply be a +1 point to Polo's features, which is why Polo goes for the filling of the square immediately and also starts a city next to his monastery, so he'll be getting some like extra efficiency when he builds the monastery, when he builds the city and the monastery at the same time downwards. So that's a really nice small benefit to have there. Welcome, Helge. Nice to see you interested at such late hour as well. Is there actually, now that you are here, do you have any insight to give? Is there going to be a Swedish team for WTCOC, or was there, or if there isn't, then was there at any point like any effort of trying to make that happen? Because I'm sure I speak for many people when I say that we would be certainly delighted to see Sweden entering the competition as well, along with actually many other Nordic countries, such as we are still missing Iceland, we are still missing Norway. Are we missing Denmark? I think we are missing Denmark. I don't think they were included on the previous season. Yeah, we are actually missing a lot of the Nordic countries. Well, anyway, um, 1 point for. Well, no, actually, wait. What is this? So Polo went here with the starting tile, didn't even bother meepling it, just wanted to save his monastery on this square. Um, Not sure if that's worth it. No, I wouldn't say it's worth it. I mean, you can just simply wait and see what happens to this square. Or if you want to necessarily save it, then save it with a less valuable tile, such as like just wait for other additional road tiles to not. Oh, to not lose value on tiles. Also, I have to say this road here pretty extravagant. Um, there is a case to be made that Polo actually had um, almost every single tile in the deck, as in like almost every single straight road and the road monastery still in the deck, waiting to be going into the squares. So he had 9 tiles to go to the square, which is quite a lot. But still, I mean, when you are restricting your own monasteries, you gotta be really, really careful. I mean, I think just a simple move of going over here and not even meepling anything would have been just perfectly fine. Or even meepling the road, I mean actually would not be a bad idea here. Waiting for a road monastery over here, just a curve here, and then suddenly you have a 7 point road, and you have a road monastery here, and you're like you are like really getting the maximum value out of every tile you place next to your monasteries. Last time I checked, we didn't have enough active Swedish players to form a team, unfortunately. That is indeed unfortunate. So, by the sound of it, we will have to wait for future years, for an unknown amount of time before Sweden joins the party. Welcome, Carl. Um, some updates on the dual scoring. So Carl taking a 2-0 win from Barry. Congratulations on that. See, looks to be rather fine stuff for Belgium. Might as well actually update it straight away. And we'll also give the match point, of course, for Belgium. Can't forget about that. Now that's looking better. So, Polo making some efforts in trying to clean off or trying to block this 8-point city of Fabian. Potentially making it uh, with the wrong orientation, I want to say, because the fact that Fabian needs a city cap with a field over here. Now, if Polo turns uh, the curve like he did, then Fabian has a great use for both city caps with a field over here and for city caps with a road over here. But if you turn the road other way, facing north, then Fabian would need a city cap with a field over here and here. And of course, this would be Fabian's first choice because not only is it more points, it's also a meeple pack, and then Polo would then have more time to actually make use out of this city cap for himself. So a bit potentially some lost potential there. Now, usually the reason why you would place the curve like this is because you want to be able to use like straight roads and uh, well, most of all straight roads, which are usually a bit dull tiles and not worth that much. You want to use them as blocking tiles, specifically on like cases like this when you have a nice field square next to your opponent's city, and then you can just go and stick it in for the city. But the decision has been made. Polo with a triple city with a road. I mean, he has the option to go here. As a as a matter as a matter of fact, I cannot explain this move by Fabian. This is not that wise stuff. This is basically only helping your opponent because this city is in kind of in shambles as it is right now. It's very difficult to actually complete without creating any like attacking platforms. And so now you are basically slapping 2 more points to it and creating this road, whereas you could have simply done simple stuff like go over here, take this city for yourself. There are still 2 starting tiles. You don't really even have to worry about this one getting blocked. And you had what, 3 meeples, 3 meeples in your hand. So like, I would say that's a lot of lost value and much additional value given to your opponent free of charge. I mean, these are the kind of moves that will end up mattering in games, and they will make your winning much harder when you are not taking full advantage of great scoring tiles. Polo with a monastery, and a wonderful spot would be over here, or the juiciest spot would be here, but it does expand the field, which is potentially not what you want to do as Polo. But you also don't want to go here either, really, because it does the same thing. It expands the field. Um, it maybe we can go over here. Though, like, stacked monasteries are so nice, though. The issue is that we have a meeple on a 2-point road and a meeple in a city which in all likelihood will never be finished. So that's gonna put Fabian in a meeple majority for potentially the rest of the game. Or we could go over here, just take 2 points and block the city for good, like Carl suggests here. And this is what Polo goes for. I actually really like it because there were still so many tiles for Fabian to save this square, and all 3 daggers were in the game. Yeah, I definitely do actually like this more than just simply taking a monastery and expanding the field. Yeah, actually expanding the field I think would have been a rather bad move in this scenario. But now, when we are the ones that are likely gonna be having the meeple majority, now we are in a position to actually start growing this field potentially. If we get our hands on maybe the other road monastery, then we can go over here and we can expand this shared 6-point city to a 12-pointer. Maybe force Fabian to go with a second meeple over here. We can do all kinds of things. Fabian takes 4 points and cleans off the city cap. Meanwhile, Polo simply going for some nice extender stuff. And Fabian also attacking the ruin, which can't really argue with that. It is a worthwhile ruin to attack. It is 10 points. Ludovic Angostura 02. So that is a point for Italy. Thank you, Andrea. 02, and Italy goes on the match scoreboard as well. Then Fabian simply adds a point to the monastery. As Polo, I mean, we might go over here. Yeah, just make it a bit more difficult for Fabian to connect. And also we take away the option for Fabian to find the second divider and to go over here and back out of this plan. Or maybe Fabian would have even liked to do this, go over here and double down on this city and then get a triple city and take over, which would have actually been, let's say, -10 and like something like a 23-point sequence had that happened. But now that we have taken that out of the arsenal, then now everything is looking pretty decent actually. Let's say a Fabian +1. -1. Okay, never mind. +9. +1. -2. -1. +1. -2. And I believe +4 for Polo at the moment as a result of this connection for Fabian as he finds the final triple city with the road. Also gets these juicy 3 points on top of that. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there is still like one road Dorito. So if anyone is feeling fancy, then they can go over here and try to attack this city for the second time, but not any longer. The road Dorito is drawn by Fabian. and is trying to finish a 10-point city and drop a farmer on a juicy 9-point field, which Apollo can't really allow. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna have to go here, but then he can try to actually block that city entirely. Oh, 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 no, no, you didn't. You did not just do that. You did not. Oh, God. Why would you meeple that city? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There weren't even that many connection tiles in the first place. And, there was this divider all along. I mean, like a sensible thing to do, I think, would have been just to go over here without a meeple. Then try to get like a road plus road and block this in its entirety. But like in case of the divider coming, then at least don't place a meeple there. Just let your opponent use like starting tiles and city caps over here to try and finish the city if he wants to. I think this is a rather big mistake from Polo. Well, the good news are that we can actually still finish this city. There is still a starting tile to fit into this square, and we can find a dagger over here, which there are still 2 remaining. So we might be able to still get out of this alive. Hi, Nico. Okay, but now do we actually have to rely on finishing the city? Oh, well, this is a great start. This is actually really great for us. There aren't all that many attacking possibilities to the field. There is this one that can be achieved or that can be used, which is something that Apollo needs to take care of, which Fabian now is probably gonna go for, right? I mean, because this is the most obvious attacking spot. Or he could also go maybe over here, because there are still, those 2 daggers available to fit into the square afterwards. But with this other road monastery, Polo not only able to finish the monastery of his own, well, eventually with this curve, but also able to now unify these fields, which is going to give him extra 6 points, infield points that is. So that will help quite a lot. But now Fabian has the meeple maturity, and there is now a risk actually that Fabian will even attack this big ruin, either from here or from here. Now we do need to keep in mind that there are indeed no connection tiles with road. And I mean, this is preventing a ninja farmer, but is that really necessary? I mean, because we could have gone over here. Though do we now even need to finish the city? We may not have to. Let's see. +8 for Fabian, 7 and 7, so these are equal. This ruin is equal. +8 for Fabian, +6, sorry, +9, +7, +10, +7, and then this field. So actually +8 for Polo. 4-3 for Belgium at the moment, so we are indeed. So this is then the final match actually that we are witnessing. We will of course double check all the results afterwards for just for the sake of being able to do so. One, two. I I mean, as Fabian, I wouldn't exactly count out an option to simply go over here and attack this ruin. One, two, three, four, five. I mean, there was still at least one tile to do that. Not anymore though. One, two, three, four. Ha, okay, I think now all triangles and triple cities are out of the game. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 it is, and Fabian trying to score big with a potential 8-point city. Has counted that there are indeed tiles to do that. Or maybe he just went for a 3-point field just because there was seemingly not anything better to do with this tile. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, there isn't actually a city cap to go here, which is looking really, really bad for Fabian actually here. Another 3-point field, and yeah, this is definitely not going to be enough for him, I think, to win. As his final tile, he also makes a mistake here. Takes a 4-point city instead of a 7-point road, giving 1 point to his opponent, so missed out on 2 points there. We shall see if that is gonna be enough of a mistake to actually take this game away. 94, 92. Oh no, it's looking. Oh no. Oh my god. It. Oh, wow, it sucks to see this as Fabian later on, as with his final 4 points here, he was actually able to get an additional 2 points by simply going here. Me pulling a 7-point road, giving 1 point to his giving 1 point to Polo and being up like net +2 even more, which would have been enough because Polo was the starting player. Oh dear, 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 dear. That's why you used your time. That's why you use like your whole time bank if you have to on your last turn, because usually there is not that many situations in which you can go wrong with the final tile of your game. But when the situation is that close, you really have to think, what does my opponent have in hand, and what is actually the highest net point move that I can make. And sadly for Fabian, he he messed up. He messed up. I mean, there's really nothing to explain to explain more there. He just messed up. This starting tile was the winning tile for actually for both players, but Fabian missed his chance to actually use it as a winning tile. Oh man, oh man! Someone from Team Belgium, you know, tell him tell Fabian about this so that he can, uh, you know, get better. Or maybe don't tell him so he doesn't, kick himself. But that is certainly unfortunate stuff for the Belgium player. 1-2 goes the table 1, and now let us actually indeed update all of the scores. We'll update the table 1 first, but all the others as well, of course, are about to follow. So, table 1 done, table 2 done. Knives, let's verify knives so that he doesn't cheat. Uh, Duo with no losses on time for knives. That is correct. Then we have Ludo versus Angostur. Oh, he didn't know the field was joined. Oh. I mean, but he, okay, so he didn't think the field was joined, so it wasn't necessary. But it was still a better move to make. It doesn't matter if the fields were not joined. I mean, but seemingly Fabian doesn't have the mentality to like go for the best moves. He takes his apparently he takes his time to go for the best moves when he knows he has to absolutely go for the best moves. But when he thinks he's ahead, then he just plays like whatever. Let's just take quick points here. um, which is really harming way to play. And I know that because I play like that from time to time. I think I'm ahead and I don't think I have a chance, or I don't think I have a chance to win. And I think that my last move doesn't matter, but it actually does. After seeing the final the final um, points. Like it actually happened to me like not long ago against a strong Latvian, the 2024 gold medalist from of the MSO Grand Prix, Chris Kaukis, where I actually just went by instinct, adding 1 point to my own city, whereas I actually should have just prevented a city from being finished to his field, and that actually cost me the game. Now it was just a casual game, not a competitive one, so no not much consequences were you know harmed were done, but it still stings that I didn't actually think. I just went for the move blindly, and yeah, didn't feel good afterwards. So Angostur versus Ludovic. Taking a 2-0 win, and that's 2-2. Then let's see, nice dicer, which also going into a decider with Pepinho, and unfortunately for the Belgian, he has lost that decider, and it is a 2-1 for Italy on table 5. And then we shall see Nikos Stavsis, which should be, I mean, given his reputation, probably a win. And it is. with 1-0 and then 1-1. Did actually lose one game. And then 2-1. So 3-3, and then let's see if Rally was able to clinch back from his earlier deficit. He was indeed able to get back from the early loss with a 1-point win in game 2 as well as a win in game 3. So a reverse win is always juicy to see. And then Moby Dick should have been losing if the chat was right about the current standings at the time. Also with a decider, so a lot of deciders actually here, not many 2-0 games. Moby Dick evening equalizing to 1-1, and then with a third game, AIB taking a win for Italy. Oops. So unfortunately, because we have an uneven amount, an uneven amount of pairings, we don't actually, get a winner in that sense. Difference between 600 and 700 plus. Yeah, it might very well be. Um, when you go above 700, you are like maybe like more focused on each game and not like I still play this for fun only. At least maybe for me, I might be taking this game too seriously sometimes. But I would propose a counter argument also that I'm being harsh on myself for a reason because I do demand the best from myself. And because I do demand the best from myself, then I can also demand the best from others. And that is now uh, a rightful uh, um, decision to make when I sometimes, or actually quite often, judge players as the streamer, and I'm being um, maybe a bit too harsh on them sometimes, but know that it all comes from place of love. I want you guys to I want you to I want you guys to do well. That's why I'm steaming at you from time to time. 4-4 and 5 deciders actually. Fun fact: 3 Belgian players that won didn't make it to the team. So all of these players aren't actually even in the team yet. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, the registration haven't begun. Still over 10 days actually until that. So yeah, these friendlies are certainly a great place to also feature some new players and see their skill set. Though it also kind of sounds like the team has already been decided, no? So has it? Has it? So are these like actually just for warm up? Are these games for actually purely for like warm up stuff? And Belgium has like already gathered the whole team that they are going to feature in this season. Is that the case? Team is already decided through qualifiers. Ah, okay, I see. It were more the old players that didn't get into the team. Okay, well, I mean that's uh, probably at the at the same time it's like kind of sad, but also great that you guys are giving um, opportunities to new players to like kind of uh, flutter their wings. That's not really an actual saying in English, but I didn't have time to come up with a better one. But we'll keep the Team Belgium as a secret for now. We'll all be seeing that after the or let's say during the registration stage. So a little reminder for you all who are watching and are perhaps the team captains: the registration phase will start on 23rd of this month, so after 10 days, and it will last up until April 6th. So there is a 2 week time window to register your team, so make sure you won't be missing out on that. For newcomers in Team Belgium, that is quite a lot actually. That is indeed quite a lot. Like 40% have changed since the previous team, or 40% are the ones that are the kind of ones that, who haven't actually been even participating at least in earlier seasons. It's a pretty big percentage. I'm glad you guys have some um, confidence in your new arrivals. Anyways, we will be wrapping up for the evening. Thank you all for joining and sticking all the way until the end. I hope you all have a great rest of the evening, and I will see you with some more Carcassonne content right tomorrow. Bye for now.